Hey guys, Dr. Holly here, and I'm Associate Professor of Medicine at CU Anschutz Health and Wellness Center and also co-founder of the Transformational Weight Loss Program, Stay to Slim. It's time to do a little quick video update. I know so many of you are following Larry and Kathie J as they go on their 16-week transformational journey with Stay to Slim. We had 2 weeks happen kind of over the holidays, week 7 and week 8. They're really coming to the halfway point. They've been in this journey for about 8 weeks, and I just want to kind of update you. So many of you are watching them or hearing them on the radio, and they're killing it. They really soared through the holidays, and now they're starting 2019 in a really good place. This week is about thinking about all the things that has happened to them, all the changes, all the things that are different, bigger than just weight loss, and also where they want to go in the new year, where they want to go in the second half of this kind of journey that they're on. I like to do a little bit of a summary so you can kind of understand what's going on with Stay to Slim. So I'm going to cover week 7 and week 8 with this video because it happened all during the holidays. Week 7 and week 8 in Stay to Slim is really all about emotional resiliency. We call it ER. It's a really important topic. It's something that I see and we talk about a lot if you come in to see me, or if you're struggling with your weight. It's what to do with your emotions. So many people, when they feel a negative emotion or a positive emotion, but a lot of times a negative emotion, they tend to eat, or they tend to do a negative behavior. Maybe they don't want to exercise, or maybe they just have a negative mindset. Something happens, and so we really want to start substituting or looking for other behaviors that we can do when we feel negative emotions. It's not that a negative emotion is not going to happen. It's not that we're never going to feel hurt or sad or scared or anxious or overwhelmed. Those emotions are part of life, right? And that's something you're gonna feel. But what do you do when you feel it? And that's really what this week 7 and week 8 has been all about. Being aware of when you experience negative emotions, what you tend to do, what your reaction tends to be. You feel this feeling and what do you do? And changing it if the reaction that you normally do isn't something that gets you to your goal. You know, I think in our society these days, if we feel a negative emotion, if we feel anxiety or hurt or we're sad, or really anything that we don't like, our gut feeling or what we tend to do is try to get rid of it. It's like, get rid of it immediately. Heaven forbid we should actually feel it and deal with it. We try to numb it. And what's the number one thing, or one thing at least, that I see people use all the time? Food. Right? I don't like how I'm feeling. I'm going to try to numb it. I'm going to try to get rid of that feeling with food. It doesn't work very well. It's very short-lived, but we do it. We've learned it. It's something we do all the time. So week 7 and 8 is about learning about what that relationship is, what emotions tend to lead you to overeat or tend to lead you to get off path, tend to lead you to have a negative mindset, and changing that, being aware and putting in a new strategy. That's what I love about 7 and 8, because it can be used so much in so many other parts of our lives. Another reason why I think people kind of fail at weight loss or get off track, right? They're doing great. Maybe you can relate to this. You're doing great, you're making it to the gym, you're eating on plan, everything's going good, and then life happens. I always say a bump in the road happens, right? Something comes your way, a curveball, and you're totally thrown off. And it takes it forever for you to get back on track. If you ever get back on track, curveballs happen. And when they happen, maybe you get sick, you get injured, something happens in your family, you lose your job, any of those things. And instead of being able to move through them, get through them, and come out the other side stronger, you allow them to get you off course. You allow them to send you off and you never come back. So many times that's what happens to people. People who have high emotional resiliency, they tend to be able to get through the bumps. It's not that the bumps don't happen. The bumps absolutely happen to them. They absolutely feel those negative emotions, but they know how to deal with them. They know how to get through them, and they get back on track sooner. Super important strategies and skills to have just to live your life and to stay on plan and to be able to be healthy. So we deal a lot with this in Stay to Slim, and 7 and 8 is when we really focus on it. So Kathie and Larry have been doing this. They've been looking for their kind of emotional triggers, what emotions lead to behaviors that aren't good, that don't get them where they want to go, don't allow them to live their best life. And then we're substituting new behaviors in place of those. So one of the things we did is we kind of came up with a list of what I call what fills your cup, right? What gives you that emotional resiliency? I always talk about if you don't do things that fill your emotional cup, And this isn't food. We're not talking about fill your cup with food. We're talking about filling your emotional cup, make you stronger emotionally. So when something happens to you, you have some fuel, you have some energy to deal with it. People with high ER keep their cup full. They don't let their cup get on empty. But you got to know what fills your cup. So part of this time over the holidays, it was about what fills their emotional cup. What are they going to do instead of turning to food, instead of going to a negative mindset? And so knowing what that list is and substituting something on that list when they're feeling an emotion instead of going to food. So for instance, if you're an introvert, it may be things like listening to music, reading a book, playing with your pet, going for a walk, all kinds of things like that. If you're more of an extrovert, it may involve being out with people and doing things with people. It could be painting, whatever it is that kind of gives you that emotional boost that you need. You know when you're on emotional empty and you're trying to prevent that from happening. So that was a lot of what we spent our time on in weeks 7 and 8. They're killing it. We're going to continue to use it as they move forward. This isn't a skill you just use once, but developing emotional resiliency, how you deal with the curveballs in life. When those bumps in the road come, how are you going to get through them? Actually see them as something that can make you stronger and then get right back on track, not let it throw you off. Super important for all of you who've made New Year's resolutions. You may be doing really good right now. There will come a curveball. We all have curveball. Life happens to us. That is what happens. When that happens, are you going to be able to get through it? Do you have the skills and strategies? Are you aware of that? And do you know what to do so that you can get back on track quickly and then be able to hit your goals, hit the things that are super important to you? So keep supporting Kathie and Larry. They're doing a great job. This is hard work. This isn't necessarily easy stuff. This isn't just eat this diet and work out. There's a lot of other work that's going on with this, and they're killing it. So keep supporting them. If you're interested in going through a 16-week transformation, we do have some classes that we do in small groups. Go to www.staytoslim.com. I do see a few people in clinic if you wanted to have one-on-ones like they do. Also go to www.staytoslim.com and we can direct you to wherever you need to go. I see people at the CU Anschutz Health and Wellness Center. So if you're interested in going on a transformational journey and increasing your emotional resiliency, let us know. Otherwise, really support them. This is something that the more people you have rooting and talking to you and supporting you and saying you're doing a good job, it really does help. Your social circle, your support really does help. In terms of the takeaway, I always like to give you a little takeaway. What I would suggest you do, if you have started your own New Year's resolution, if you have your goals already for 2019 that you're trying to do, go ahead and make a fill your cup list. Do what they did. Come up with the things that give you that emotional strength, things that fill your cup, that make you strong. And make sure you're doing some of those things, either once a day, a couple times a week. Never let your cup get on empty. So when life happens, when a bump in the road happens, and it will, your cup isn't on empty. And when you're feeling one of those negative emotions that leads you to want to eat off plan, to kind of say, screw it, I'm not doing this, to throw your hands up, to get frustrated, go to that list instead of going to food. Just try it. When you feel an emotion that you normally would go eat something off plan, say, you know what, I'm going to go do something that's on my fill my cup, my non-food fill my cup list, and see if that helps. Just be open and curious. Give it a try. I'll be very interested to see what your experiences are, and we will see you soon. Stay in touch with us, and we will be following up very soon. Love y'all. Bye.